This is a real missing person case. More than 16 years later, Susan Powell has never been found. A young mother disappears from her home overnight. Her husband claims he took their 2 small sons on a spontaneous camping trip into the freezing Utah desert just after midnight. The children return safely, but Susan is gone. As police uncover more disturbing evidence, suspicion spreads through the entire Powell family. Then, one by one, the people believed to know the truth die, taking their secrets with them. This is the mystery of Susan Powell. Susan Cox Powell was 28 years old. She lived in West Valley City, Utah, United States, with her husband, Josh Powell, and their 2 young sons, Charlie and Braden. Friends describe Susan as kind, intelligent, and devoted to her children. But behind closed doors, her marriage was deeply troubled. Susan had privately told friends she feared Josh's controlling behavior, and even wrote that if anything ever happened to her, investigators should look at her husband. On the evening of December 6, 2009, Susan and Josh spent the evening at home after sharing dinner with a neighbor. Later that night, Susan vanished. The next morning, friends and co-workers became worried when Susan failed to arrive at work and could not be contacted. This was completely out of character for her. Josh Powell gave police an unusual explanation. He claimed that shortly after midnight, he had suddenly decided to take his 2 young sons camping at Simpson Springs, a remote desert area nearly 100 miles away. It was the middle of winter, temperatures were below freezing, and the boys were only 4 and 2 years old. Investigators immediately found the story suspicious. A massive search began across Utah. Inside the Powell family home, investigators discovered several unusual details. A section of carpet appeared to have been recently cleaned using industrial fans. Susan's purse, wallet, identification, and other personal belongings had been left behind. Forensic testing later found a small amount of Susan's blood inside the house, but not enough to determine exactly what had happened. Despite months of searching, Susan was never found. Josh refused to cooperate fully with investigators and later moved with his sons to Washington State, where they lived with his father, Susan Powell. As detectives dug deeper into the family's lives, the investigation uncovered even more disturbing information. Police later focused on Susan Powell after discovering hundreds of voyeuristic photographs and videos of Susan, along with recordings of other women and young girls. Investigators learned that Stephen had developed an unhealthy obsession with his daughter-in-law. In 2011, he was arrested and later convicted on voyeurism-related charges involving other victims. Investigators also became interested in Josh's brother, Michael Powell. Shortly after Susan disappeared, Michael abandoned a vehicle at a salvage yard in Oregon under suspicious circumstances. Detectives later stated they believed Michael may have helped Josh dispose of Susan's body after her disappearance. Then, in February 2012, the investigation took a devastating turn. During a supervised visit with his 2 sons, Josh locked the supervising social worker outside his rented house. Moments later, he attacked Charlie and Braden with a hatchet before setting the house on fire. Josh and both boys died in the explosion. Investigators believe the only person who knew exactly what happened to Susan died that day. The tragedy did not end there. In 2013, Michael Powell died by suicide. Later that same year, West Valley City Police announced they had closed their active investigation. Investigators publicly stated that they believed Josh Powell murdered Susan and that Michael Powell helped conceal and dispose of her body. However, because Susan's remains have never been found, no murder charges could ever be filed. More than 16 years later, Susan Powell's body has never been recovered. The case officially remains unresolved, and her family continues searching for answers and justice. What really happened to Susan Powell on that December night? Where is her body? And did the full truth die with the Powell family?